3.26 million miles. Same engine, same block, same car. Irv Gordon drove that Volvo until he died, and the engine still ran. 7 verified habits made the difference. What did he know that you don't? Volvo confirmed it. Guinness World Records verified it. And before you write that off as some freak anomaly of a Swedish sports car from the 1960s, consider this. There is a 2002 Ford F350 with a 7.3-litre Power-stroke diesel that hit 1 million miles. There are Ram 2500s and 3500s with the 6.7-litre Cummins engine crossing the 500,000-mile mark regularly. There are Honda Accords and Toyota Camrys with documented, verified odometer readings north of 500,000 miles. Even Mercedes W123 taxis with the OM 617 diesel engine routinely exceeded 500,000 miles in European service. These are not myths. These are real vehicles, and every single owner of every single one of those cars credits the same thing. Not luck, not the car, their habits. That is what this video is about. 7 verified habits that mechanics say are the difference between an engine that dies at 100,000 miles and one that runs clean past 500,000. And some of these are going to contradict things you have been doing your entire life. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you are going to look at how you treat your engine completely differently. Let us start with habit 1, and this is the one that matters more than everything else combined. Oil change. Specifically, how often you actually change it. Here is the real answer, and it is more nuanced than the old 3,000-mile rule everyone still follows. According to Kelley Blue Book, most modern engines running full synthetic oil can safely go between 7,500 and 10,000 miles between changes. Some manufacturers push that number as high as 15,000. The 3,000-mile rule is, by most experts, completely outdated. Edmunds confirmed this after running long-term test vehicles well past 10,000 miles on a single oil fill with 0 engine damage. A career Navy mechanic they quoted shrugged the whole thing off. But here is the part most people completely miss. According to Consumer Reports chief mechanic John Ibbotson, if you mostly make short trips, standard oil may never get warm enough to burn off the moisture and impurities that accumulate inside your engine. That means the mileage on your odometer is a lie. A person driving 4,000 miles a year almost entirely on short local trips is putting far more stress on their oil than someone doing 15,000 miles of highway commutes. Time matters just as much as distance. Ibbotson says to change oil at least every 6 months to a year regardless of mileage, and more frequently if short trips dominate your driving. When choosing oil, stick to full synthetic with the correct SAE viscosity grade for your engine. Modern engines typically require 5W, 30, or 0W, 20 viscosity ratings. These provide better protection during cold starts and maintain film strength at operating temperature. Turbocharged engines are a completely separate conversation. Those turbos spin at speeds exceeding 100,000 rotations per minute and operate at temperatures above 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Mechanics recommend full synthetic oil and changes closer to 5,000 miles rather than the standard interval. Your turbo's life literally depends on fresh oil. Diesel engines have their own requirements. Power-stroke and Cummins owners should also maintain fuel filter replacement every 15 to 20,000 miles and monitor DEF fluid levels in newer emissions-equipped trucks. The fuel system cleanliness directly impacts injector longevity. Bottom line, use full synthetic oil with proper SAE viscosity. Follow your manufacturer's spec. Check that oil level monthly. And if you drive mostly short trips, cut your intervals in half. Habit 2 is going to make a lot of you uncomfortable. You have been warming your car up wrong. Not necessarily the act of warming it up, but how you do it and why. Consumer Reports says that after a cold start, a modern engine is fully lubricated within 20 seconds. The oil pump circulates fluid through the motor almost immediately. And according to AAA's senior automotive manager David Bennett, the fastest way to bring an engine up to operating temperature is actually to drive it gently, not to let it sit in your driveway idling for 15 minutes. The engine warms up faster under load than it does at idle. But here is the critical part that no one talks about. The same experts who say modern engines do not need a long idle also say you should not drive them hard until that temperature gauge moves off the cold mark. Jiffy Lube COO Lonnie Hinkle, with more than 20 years in the industry, recommends no more than 30 seconds of idle before you start moving. Then drive gently until the temperature gauge climbs to its normal range. That distinction matters enormously for engine longevity. A quick idle followed by gentle driving is the correct move. A long idle followed by immediately flooring, it is exactly the wrong combination. Habit 3 is one that mechanics see destroy engines constantly, and it has nothing to do with how you drive. It is about a component most people have never heard of, the PCV valve, the positive crankcase ventilation valve. When your engine runs, combustion gases called blow-by leak past the piston rings and into the crankcase. If those gases are not removed, the pressure builds, your oil gets contaminated, and your seals start failing. The PCV valve redirects those gases back into the intake manifold where they are burned off. It is a one-way check valve that costs between $2 and $15 to replace. But according to Jalopnik, a stuck or clogged PCV valve can lead to sludge formation in the oil, excess friction on bearings and cylinder liners, catalytic converter damage, and serious oil leaks. All of it from a part most people have never looked at, let alone replaced. Mechanics say you should inspect and clean it every 20,000 to 50,000 miles and replace it if it shows contamination or damage. Shake it. If it rattles, it is probably fine. If it does not, it is likely clogged, and your oil is paying the price. This is the kind of information you are not going to find on the sticker in your windshield corner. This is the difference between an engine that sludges out at 120,000 miles and one that runs clean at 300,000. If you are finding this kind of detail useful, subscribe right now. Every video on this channel goes this deep. You will not find surface-level car advice here. Habit 4 is about something most drivers have completely backwards. Running too cold is just as damaging as running too hot. Everyone knows overheating kills engines. But here is what the industry data shows about the other direction. When your engine runs below its optimal operating temperature, the engine control module stays in what is called open loop mode. It keeps enriching the fuel mixture as if the engine were still cold starting. That extra fuel does not fully combust. And where does unburned fuel go? It washes down the cylinder walls, past the piston rings, and dilutes the oil in your crankcase. Engine experts call it fuel dilution. And it is one of the most destructive things that can happen to your bearings and cylinder liners, because it thins the oil film that is the only thing separating metal from metal. According to a detailed mechanical analysis on Auto Data Plug, a stuck open thermostat can cause a 10 to 15% reduction in fuel economy because the engine never exits cold start mode. But the fuel economy loss is actually the least of your problems. The same source confirms that running too cold increases cylinder wall wear, promotes acid formation in the oil, and accelerates carbon buildup on intake valves. If your OBD2 scanner shows code P128, that indicates your engine is not reaching proper operating temperature, often due to a stuck open thermostat. A thermostat is a $7 to $20 part. If your temperature gauge climbs abnormally slowly, if it never seems to reach its usual position on the dial, or if your cabin heat is weak on cold mornings, your thermostat may be stuck open. Get it tested. Get it replaced. An engine that never fully warms up is one that is wearing itself out every single mile. Habit 5 is about the hidden enemy of short trip driving. This one is verified by AMSOIL, Valvoline, and multiple SAE engineering sources. And it is the habit that destroys more gasoline direct injection engines than almost anything else. The enemy is fuel dilution from cold operation, and it is far worse in modern GDI engines than anything that came before. Here is the mechanism. On a cold start, your engine runs a richer fuel mixture. Combustion efficiency is lower. Some of that unburned fuel washes down the cylinder walls and into the oil pan. Normally, once the engine reaches full operating temperature, the heat evaporates those fuel contaminants out of the oil. That is the system working as designed. But if you never let the engine fully warm up, that fuel stays in the oil. It thins the oil's viscosity, strips the protective film off bearings and cylinder walls, promotes moisture buildup, and depletes the additive package that keeps your oil working properly. If your OBD2 system throws codes P171 or P172 for lean or rich conditions repeatedly, fuel system contamination could be affecting your air-fuel mixture calculations. Valvoline documents that as little as 0.1% water contamination from cold operation can reduce bearing life by 50%. AMSOIL engineering research confirms that short-trip, stop-and-go driving is one of the most aggressive conditions your oil faces. And the data shows that 1 mile driven on a cold engine causes more oil degradation than 3 miles driven on a fully warm one. The fix is simple. If you mostly drive short trips, take a 20-minute highway drive at least once a week to fully heat your engine and burn off the contaminants. And if you cannot avoid short trip driving, cut your oil change interval significantly, regardless of what the factory schedule says, because that factory schedule assumes a driving pattern you probably do not have. Habit 6 involves your cooling system, and this is the neglected maintenance item that mechanics say they see cause the most preventable engine failures. The coolant in your engine does not last forever. Over time, it becomes acidic. According to both Carfax and Kelley Blue Book, degraded coolant loses its ability to resist corrosion and begins to attack the very metal it is supposed to protect. That means rust, scale deposits, and debris accumulating in your radiator, water pump, engine block, and hoses. The passages narrow, cooling efficiency drops, and the water pump, which relies on coolant additives for lubrication, starts to wear prematurely. Here is the part that makes this so important for long-term engine survival. According to Christian Brothers Automotive, neglecting coolant maintenance can lead to a blown head gasket or a cracked engine block. Those are not cheap repairs. A coolant flush runs between $100 and $250. A head gasket replacement on most vehicles runs between $1,000 and $2,000 minimum. The math is not complicated. The service interval varies by coolant type. Older green silicate coolants need replacement every 2 years or 30,000 miles. Modern extended life coolants, typically orange or gold in color, can go up to 5 years or 100,000 miles. Check your owner manual. Check the coolant reservoir. If it looks murky, brown, or rusty rather than its original bright color, you have waited too long. Speaking of overlooked fluid maintenance, your transmission fluid deserves the same attention. While not directly engine-related, transmission failure can strand you just as effectively as engine failure. Most manufacturers recommend transmission fluid service every 60 to 100,000 miles, but severe driving conditions call for earlier intervals. Fresh transmission fluid keeps your drivetrain shifting smoothly and prevents costly internal damage. Habit 7 is the one that gets left off almost every list, and it might be the most mechanically interesting of all. It is about operating temperature and engine load. Specifically, what happens when you push a cold engine hard before it is ready. Here is the physical reality. Engine components are precision machined to extremely tight tolerances. Those tolerances are designed for the material when it has reached its operating temperature. Aluminum expands at a different rate than cast iron. Piston rings expand to properly seal against cylinder walls at operating temperature. Oil flows with the right viscosity at operating temperature. When you hammer a cold engine, all of those clearances are wrong. The oil is still thick and slow moving. The fuel mixture is still rich and producing excess unburned fuel. The rings have not fully seated against the bores. You are essentially running a machine in a configuration it was not designed for, under the maximum stress it can experience. The mechanics behind every high-mileage engine in the verified record books say the same thing. Drive gently until the temperature gauge settles. No aggressive acceleration, no high RPM pulls, no hard merging onto highways in the first several minutes of operation. The engine will tell you when it is ready. The temperature gauge moves to its normal position and stays there. That is your green light. This applies equally when an engine is stone cold in a parking garage in January, and when you take a short drive, turn the car off for 20 minutes, then start it again. That second cold start of the day gets just as much mechanical stress as the first one. Let us put all 7 of these together. Irv Gordon did not drive 3 million miles in that Volvo because he was born lucky. He maintained it meticulously. The 1 million mile Ford Powerstroke owner Gary Mueller said the exact same thing in Motor Trend's coverage of his truck. The documented cases from Cummins-powered Ram trucks, from Honda Accords, from Toyota Camrys, from Mercedes W123 diesels, that European taxi drivers ran past 500,000 miles. Every single story comes back to the same truth. The engine is not the variable. The behavior of the person driving it is the variable. Full synthetic oil changed at the right intervals with proper SAE viscosity ratings. Gentle driving until operating temperature is reached. A PCV valve that actually gets serviced. A thermostat that works correctly and keeps your engine in its designed temperature range. Oil change intervals adjusted for your actual driving patterns, not the theoretical schedule in the manual. coolant that gets replaced before it turns acidic, transmission fluid that gets attention before it breaks down, and a consistent habit of not loading a cold engine with hard acceleration. None of this is complicated. None of it is expensive compared to what it prevents. A new engine, if it can even be sourced, can run anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 depending on the vehicle. The maintenance habits in this video cost a fraction of that across an entire vehicle lifetime. The engines that last 500,000 miles are not miracles. They are the result of decisions made over and over again, every single day, by someone who understood what the machine actually needed. If you want to keep going deeper on this stuff, subscribe right now. We cover exactly this kind of verified, technical, enthusiast-level content every single week. The kind of information that is buried in owner forums and service bulletins and mechanical engineering research, not just the basic advice you find everywhere else. Because your engine is the most expensive component in your vehicle, and it deserves better than a 3,000-mile oil change sticker and a prayer.